a lot of humanities education is ideological indoctrination, not in leftism, but in liberalism. I feel very uncomfortable at my university because I'm not a liberal, I'm a leftist, and I don't come out and say that very often.
What is the difference? Because you're saying you're a leftist but not a liberal, and I'm not sure what that means exactly.
Here's the difference between the lefts and the liberals. A real leftist believes in universal values and the importance of history and culture as a basis of knowledge with which we critique the social, the political, and economic forms that we live in. Liberals believe that the present is the best world possible and that all we need to do is include everyone's points of views and feelings, and we dissolve the canon. I am totally against that. I think that the whole idea of universal reason, which for better or worse, is an ideal that came up during the French Enlightenment, especially with regard to the work of Descartes and then Voltaire, and to some not Rousseau, he's different.
Not Rousseau.
But this idea that we each have capacity for reason, and that scientific experimentation means the method that I use and the method that you use will help us arrive at the same conclusions, and that tests and experiments would allow me to see my error. That, for better or worse, was forged in France in the late 17th century. What I think that liberals would do is like, oh, that's just heteropatriarchy, that's Eurocentrism, we should overturn that, there's indigenous cosmology. And when my students, who are all like 95% liberals, say, well, what do you think about native cosmologies? And I know that there are a lot of people here who are invested in Jungian things like that. I'll say, that's myth. And myth is irrational. It can be very beautiful, but we are in a university. We want to understand the place of myth, but we use reason. The reason is that the universal mode of production in the world is industrial mode of production. No one's going to escape that. Industrialization, modernization has to do with standardization of forms and modes of consumption and modes of progress. So we cannot escape to a kind of primitivism. We have to move forward, not backward. That is the difference between me and my liberal colleagues, and they would hate me for saying this because they like to fetishize the primitive. I do not, because I really think that the only way forward is through reason and through Marxist reason.